What's up, core reporters, and welcome back to my channel. I was listening to Cheyenne Floyd's podcast, and it's not even like a thing that I regularly do because I don't really like her voice, to be honest with you. She seems like a lovely enough girl, but her voice is just not something I enjoy listening to. So I usually skip out on the episodes, but I don't know why. I saw the description come through for this new episode that she put out. It's called Hustling is the American Way with Papa Kyle Floyd. And I'm like, hustling? What do you mean hustling is the American way? Like, what does that mean? Because I feel like the word hustling can mean so many things. Like hustling, like, rushing or working really hard, or it could mean hustling, like dealing, like shady. So I decided to go ahead and give it a listen after reading the description because, it seemed like it was something rather interesting. And of course, having her father as a guest, was going to be really like different for her podcast because she's usually with her girls and whatnot. And no offense to her girls, but they're not really that relevant to her story on the show. So I'm not typically interested in what they have to say. Same with her sister R. But her father is an interesting character. And I know that a lot of Teen Mom viewers have always wondered what the tea is about her family money, where it all comes from. And I figured that in this episode about hustling, aka working, we would find out, right? Well, listen, guys. I found out a lot more than I even expected to find out in this episode. It sounds like her dad was into some stuff, just like her husband's into some stuff, right? So now it makes all the more, hang on, let me mute before I can cough. Thank you. So now it makes all the more sense to me why her family is so okay with her marrying Zach, despite Zach's long rap sheet. So let's take a listen to some interesting moments from the episode when her dad talks about his days hustling. Okay, so here's the episode. Let's go.
You're either going to be a hustler, and I mean, you could hustle and make plenty of money, but you might end up going to jail. Okay?
Ooh,
or
not the jail.
So did you ever have to like growing up, was there ever a moment where you were like, okay, I guess you hustled lollipops, but where you hustled other things and were like, if I keep doing this, I'm going to go to jail. If I go straight, I'm going to do this. Like, did you have to have that moment with yourself?
Yes, I did. I had to have that moment.
So how old were you then?
So he had to have a moment with himself where he said, I got to stop doing this. I got to stop hustling or else I'm going to jail. Well, what does that typically mean? Did he go the Zach route and allegedly steal people's credit card information? Or was he doing the drugs, the dealing of the drugs and whatnot? He never really gets too clear on it, but he does kind of like go into some more detail about what it was that he was doing in his younger years. So let's take a listen.
I had made a decision that once I hit 18,
you would stop.
I would clean everything
because that's jail.
So wow, this man was was in these streets doing illegal activities in his teens before he was even 18 years old. That's crazy to me. So to me, that kind of says that he grew up in perhaps a poor environment and he felt the need to do this sort of thing in order to have some kind of money to help himself survive and to help his family survive, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's exactly it. Okay. And that was my mentality. Once I hit 18, everything needs to slow way down because I'm not going to jail. I ain't going to jail.
Did you really stop at 18?
No. Pretty much. Well,
pretty much.
I stopped doing anything that could be
bad for
serious.
You. Okay.
I would still maybe middleman some deals or, lightweight stuff.
Okay.
So middleman some deals and lightweight stuff. What is that, you guys? If any of you guys have been into like the whole crime scene or whatever, I have not. I haven't had time to. So I'm not really aware. I'm joking. Not that I haven't had time to. I haven't had an interest in this. It's just I don't get it, right? And I've thankfully never been in survival mode, so it's never been like a thing that I've had to do either. But if any of you guys have been in this situation, or if you've been around people who are in this situation, what does it mean middlemaning some deals and doing some light work in the hopes of avoiding jail time while doing illegal activities?
A little bit. Yeah. But nothing that could be
to put you in jail.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's interesting. This is an interesting story.
Yeah.
Of your hustle days.
So, that's kind of, and look, let me tell you something. For all you square people out here, and it's nothing wrong with you.
Not him dragging me. I am a square, okay? And I'm a proud square, and I feel lucky to be a square because, like I said, I think doing these sorts of things, it means that you grew up in an environment where you, unfortunately, as a child, had to think about how to survive, not only for yourself, but for your family. You know what I mean? And I do find that to be very unfortunate and sad that he seems to have been put in that position in his youth.
Square and working hard and doing it that way. But for all you square folks, don't ever be mad at a hustler. Okay? The Kennedys were hustlers.
Okay.
They were the biggest bootleggers in America. They still make money on you talking about you guys know the Kennedys?
Yes, Dad. Yes.
Well, you guys are a generation behind. Some people don't know.
Yes, Dad.
We're educated. We got the reference. We're educated.
All right. So I don't want you to think that hustling is not the American way. It is definitely the American way. Okay? That's the way they've done it in America. You know, you find a product, you run that product.
Okay, so around 18 is when you realize, like, you can't, continue to hustle that way.
Well, I need to compliment that with a story. Okay.
Okay.
I was sitting with a friend who was about a year or two older than me. His name is, well, we called him Shitty. We're at Shitty's house.
So this is where he goes into a story about a friend who said that he wanted to be a gangster, and eventually he did. And guess what? Gangstering got him pretty much life in prison, right? So, he does tell a story about how, like, that kind of inspired him to, like, get out of Dodge and move forward. So listen, while I do find it unfortunate that he was in the position in his youth, again, he was a child. He was not even 18 years old when he was making these decisions, that he had to do this sort of thing. And maybe I'm just putting words in his mouth. He never said he had to. He never said he was poor or anything like that. Maybe I'm just over reading into it, because I typically feel like that's how it works, right? Like when you hear stories of people who start off this way, it's because they were, poor and they were trying to find a way out of that. So if that's the case, then I gotta say, listen, I think it's great that he got out while he could, and that he used the money that he made from quote unquote hustling to create a wonderful life for his children, right? Like his children, Cheyenne and that letter of the alphabet, they have lived a great life. They've been very well educated. They're well traveled. He helped them, it seems like, financially throughout their lives, even as adults and whatnot, which I think is wonderful. So I say great for him for getting out and for setting his children up for success. And now Cheyenne's got a wonderful life for herself and her kids. I do find it disappointing that she did get with Zach. I don't know what Zach does for work, but I know that he used to allegedly, look into people's credit card information and kind of shuffle that around and use it for himself. Like he was once arrested for allegedly taking someone's identity to open up a T-Mobile account or something like that. So it is disappointing that she got with someone who participated in that sort of thing, allegedly, when she was already set up and around so many, successful people. She hangs around the P. Diddy family, for Christ's sake, like this was the best she could do. I digress. That's besides the point. All I can say is the dad set his kids up, and that's wonderful. So now it makes more sense to me why you never see her parents ask her on camera, are you sure you want to get with this man, girl? All the trouble he's got, now it makes sense. The dad really can't cast a stone about this. He really cannot judge Zach on his hustling skills, because guess what? He was hustling before Zach was even born. Anyway, you guys, what do you think about this? Is it a surprise to you to hear that Cheyenne's dad was participating in illegal activities back in the day? It really did shock me. I got to be honest with you guys. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.